Hello students, my name is Arshan and today we'll do the 15th chapter from your science textbook of NCERT for class 7th and the name of the chapter is Light Part 1. So students, you might have been seeing a beam of sunlight when it enters a room through a narrow opening or a hole. You may have also seen beams of light from the headlamps of scooters, cars and engines of trains as well, as you can see them now in these pictures. Similarly, a beam of light can be seen from a torch also. Now some of you may have seen a beam of searchlight from a lighthouse or from an airport tower as well. So students, have you ever thought that what do these experiences suggest? Well, the answer of this question is the topic name, that is, light travels along a straight line. So students, try to recall an activity that you have performed in class 6th. In that activity, you looked at a lighted candle through a straight pipe and then through a bent pipe. The reason that you were not able to see the candle flame through a bent pipe was because light travels in straight line. Now this activity showed that light travels along straight lines and one question arises once again. That is, how can we change the path of light? So students, do you know what happens when light falls on a polished or a shiny surface? Knowing the answer of this question will let you know that how can we change the path of light. Let us talk about reflection of light. So, one way to change the direction of light is to let it fall on a shiny surface. For example, a shining stainless steel plate or a shining steel spoon can change the direction of light. The surface of water can also act like a mirror and change the path of light. So students, have you ever seen the reflection of trees or buildings in water? Try to remember that. Whereas any polished or a shiny surface can act as a mirror. But then again comes a question that what happens when light falls on a mirror. So you have learned this in class 6th that a mirror changes the direction of light that falls on it. Now this change of direction by a mirror is called reflection of light. Now students, can you recall the activity in which you got the light of a torch reflected from a mirror? Let us perform a similar activity here. The activity is activity 15.1. We will take a torch, cover its glass with a chart paper which has narrow slits as shown in this figure. Then we will spread a sheet of chart paper on a smooth wooden board and fix a plain mirror strip vertically on the chart paper as shown in this figure. Now we will direct the beam of light on the mirror from the torch slits. We will place the torch in such a way that its light is seen along the chart paper on the board. Now we will adjust its position so that the light from the torch strikes the plane mirror at an angle, as we can see in this image. Now, does the image change the direction of light that falls on it? Also, we will see and try to move the torch slightly to either side, and we will see the change in direction of reflected light. So students, by looking into the mirror along the direction of the reflected light, we can see the slits in the mirror. This is the image of the slits, and this activity shows how light gets reflected from a plane mirror. Students, this activity has to be performed in the supervision of an adult or a teacher because it involves the lighting of candle. So now we will perform this activity. We will place a lighted candle in front of a plane mirror. We will try to see the flame of the candle in the mirror. It appears as if a similar candle is placed behind the mirror. The candle which appears behind the mirror is the image of the candle formed by the mirror, and the candle itself is the object. Now we will move the candle to a different position in front of the mirror, and we will observe the image in each case. So students, you got to know about the image and object. Now when you move the candle a bit slightly, you will see the image upright in some cases. And when the flame appears on top of the candle as in the object, such an image is called erect image. An image formed by a plane mirror is erect and of the same size as the object. Now students, we will place a vertical screen behind the mirror and then we will try to obtain the image of the candle on the screen. So try and see that if you can get the image on the screen. Well, now we will place the screen in front of the mirror also. Can now we get the image on the screen? So we will find that the image of the candle cannot be obtained on the screen in either cases. But students, what about the distance of the image from mirror? Let us perform this another activity to get an idea about the distance of the image from mirror. Now we will perform activity 15.3. We will take a chessboard, or if a chessboard is not available, draw a chart on paper with 8 by 8 squares of equal sizes. Then we will draw a thick line in the middle of the paper and fix a plane mirror vertically on this line. We will place any small object such as a pencil sharpener at the boundary of the third square counting from the mirror, just as in this image. Now we will note the position of the image and then shift the object to the boundary of the fourth square. Again we will note the position of the image. So students, you will find that the image is at the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. We can verify this by placing the object anywhere on the chart paper. So by this we got to know that the distance of the image is same as that of the object in the mirror. Now moving on to the another topic, that is right or left. So students, we have been talking about images and mirrors in this chapter. When you see your image in a plane mirror, is it exactly like you? Well, I will say certainly yes. But students, have you ever noticed that there is one interesting difference between you and your image in a mirror? And what is that difference? Let us find out. We will perform this activity 15.4. Activity 15.4. Stand in front of a plane mirror and look at your image. Raise your left hand. Then we will see which hand does your image raise. It can be. Then we will touch our right ear and then we will observe the ear that our hand in the image is touching. We will observe carefully. We will find that in the mirror the right appears left and the left appears right. We will note that the only sides are interchanged. The image does not appear upside down. So students, now write down your name on a piece of paper and hold it in front of a plane mirror and see that how does it appear in the mirror. So students, I am sure that after doing all this, now you can understand that why the word ambulance is written as in this picture. It is because when the driver of a vehicle ahead of an ambulance look in her or his rear view mirror, he or she can read ambulance written on it and give way to it. It is the duty of every one of us to allow an ambulance to pass without blocking its way. So students, with this we are almost at the end of our chapter. We have learned a lot of things in this chapter. We have learned that light travels along straight lines. We have learned that any polished or a shining surface acts as a mirror. Also we got to know that an image which can be obtained on a screen is called a real image and an image which cannot be obtained on a screen is called a virtual image. We learned that the image formed by a plane mirror is erect, it is virtual and is of the same size as the object, and the image is at the same distance behind the mirror as the object in front of it. Also, we got to know that in an image formed by a mirror, the left side of the object is seen on the right side in the image and the right side of the object appears to be on the left side in the image. Let us move on to the exercise parts now, student. So, in the exercise part, the first question is, state the characteristics of the image formed by a plane mirror. So students, the characteristics of the image formed by a plane mirror are: first, plane mirror forms an erect image. Second, it forms a virtual image. Third, size of the image is same as that of the object. Fourth, image is formed at the same distance behind the mirror as the object stands in front of it. Fifth, image formed is a laterally inverted image, that is, right hand side of the object seems to be the left hand side and vice versa. Moving on to another question, that is, find out the letters of English alphabet or any other language known to you in which the image formed in a plane mirror appears exactly like the letter itself, and discuss your findings. So students, for you people, I have written the answer for this question as well. And I have written the alphabets of English language that appears the same when seen through a plane mirror. Letters are like A, H, I, M, O, T, U, V, W, etc. Moving on to another question. The question is, David is observing his image in a plane mirror. The direct distance between the mirror and his image is 4 meter. If he moves 1 meter towards the mirror, then the distance between David and his image will be first option 3 meter, second option 5 meter, third option 6 meter, and fourth option is 8 meter. So students, David moved forward 1 meter. That is, the distance between the mirror and David is 3 meters. Now we know that the distance of the object and the image is the same from the mirror. So we know that the answer is 6 meter. So with this students, we have finished our chapter. I am sure that you might have enjoyed all these activities and you will practice these exercise questions at home as well. We will meet next time with some other interesting chapter. Till then, bye bye.